Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Ashley and this is Martin Midlife Misadventures, and today we're going to flour it up and we're making Cheez-Its. We're making them because on yesterday's video so many of you asked me to make them, and I'm happy to because like I said, I've been craving them. So we're just going to make them. They're delicious. You're going to love them. And I think you'd be pretty hard pressed to ever buy a box of them again once you've made them yourself. This recipe I'm making today, I'm going to half the recipe, okay? Because I don't want a large amount of them today. So I'm going to half the recipe. I'll put the full recipe down in the description and in the pinned comment for you. And if you want a small tray like I'm making, just cut it directly in half and you'll be good to go on your Cheez-Its. And you creators out there, I have challenged you. Show us how to use flour. We're trying to get people used to making things from scratch with their flours, okay? You know what I'd really love? If one of you had some really great gluten-free recipes out there, because we have a son who's gluten-free and I'd love some new recipes that I could make for him, okay? Just put flour it up in the title, tag us in it, and we will add you to the playlist. I'll quit and let's get in that kitchenette and make us some Cheez-Its. All right, friends, let's get into these ingredients and I'll give you a couple tips along the way, okay? A half a cup of all-purpose flour is what I'm using, but you can use any type of flour you like, including gluten-free. 2 tablespoons of hard, I mean cold, hard butter. I have some ice water here, and we're only going to be using about 1 tablespoon to 1.5 tablespoons, and I have some cheddar cheese, blocked cheese. I highly recommend you use block cheese because honestly, I haven't tried to use the pre-packaged shredded cheese because I know they put additives in it in order to keep the shreds from sticking to one another. So I think it's best to stick with block cheese on that. If you want authentic Cheez-It flavor, get sharp cheddar cheese and it'll be delicious, but you can get creative. These are just cheese crackers, so you can use pepper jack. If you want it real mild, you could use mozzarella. Get super creative with your cheeses. If you do not have a food processor, this is just a little miniature one, is what I'm going to process the dough in, you can shred your cheese, okay, and mix it all in a bowl by hand. I'm going to start by getting all these ingredients ready to go inside the KitchenAid. The first thing you need to do is cut up your cheddar cheese in just little chunks, unless you're shredding it by hand, and put it in your food processor. We're just going to break this down until it's kind of crumbly. See that? See how it's in little tiny crumbles? Okay, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to add our butter. See these little chunks? The little ones are my 2 tablespoons. So I'm going to put a couple little chunks around, just a couple to start, and I'm going to put probably about a half of my half a cup, so 1/4 cup, just half of what I got here in the bowl, inside there, and we're going to pulse it. Let's put the rest of our butter in, and the rest of our flour. And now we're going to pulse it again. See how a dough is starting to form? I'm going to put a little bit more water, probably a half to a quarter, about a 1/4 tablespoon more. And we're going to pulse it again. Okay, it's turning into a dough. You see how my machine's starting to bind up on me? That means our dough is ready. All right, friends, I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees. You'll hear a little ticking. That's the oven, 350 degrees. Let's get this out of here. And I know my hands probably look dirty, guys, but trust me, they are not. Get it all out. And let's gather it into a ball, okay? can pick it up and make a ball of dough out of it. Because that's what it is. It's cheese dough. Now, pick up the little bits. Oh, it already smells like a Cheez-It. I'm not even kidding. Once you have a pretty good ball going here, start pressing it out a little with your hands. And then get a second piece of parchment paper. Lay it on top. Get a rolling pin or a glass, a wine bottle, something, and let's start rolling it out. We're looking to get this about, I'd say at least 1/8 of an inch, okay? Oh, it's nice and hard, and that's the way the dough should be. Just keep turning it around. Now, my bottom piece of parchment paper is cut to fit my cookie sheet, so I know I shouldn't go beyond that. But I'm going to show you a little trick. Let's take a peek. Now, this is too thick. I want you to think about the thickness of crackers when you're making this, okay? This is too thick. But I also don't like the shape because I want it to be more square. So what you do is you take the sides of your paper here, fold them in, and now I have a square, okay? I'm actually going to flip it over. Put your parchment paper back on and roll it again. Just keep rolling. It doesn't stick, so you can keep doing this rolling process as long as it takes. Look at that. It kind of looks like a little kitty cat, doesn't it? How funny. I'm switching rolling pins because I feel like the wooden one, oh yeah, it's way better for this. Let's check it out. I think that looks pretty good. Now what I like to do is take a straight edge. This is just like a cake spatula type thingy. And we're looking for about 1-inch pieces, okay? And I just kind of pre-mark them so I can get a good consistent looking cracker. You certainly could make these larger if you would like. Size doesn't really matter, but we're trying to make them look like the original Cheez-Its, right? So we'll do this. Now, on this end piece, I'm probably going to take that one off, and we'll make a little cracker on the side. Now I'm going to go back over these with my little pizza cutter here. Look at that! How funny! Let's put that back on. The dough's starting to get a little soft. And then, of course, we're going to go the other direction. And it picked one up. Now, I don't care about these little misshapen ones so much because they get kind of crispy and delicious. And Amy just absolutely loves anything crispy like that. So I'm going to leave them on there and let them crisp up. And let's do this. And here we are. They're not that beautiful, but they're going to taste delicious. All we need now is a toothpick. You can use a skewer for this. I can't find one to save my life. So we're just going to poke a little hole in the middle, okay? Tiny little hole about the size a skewer would make if you're using a toothpick. In every single one. All right, we've got our Cheez-Its. And I also want to add that I did use salted butter in this because I didn't want to add salt on the inside because I do like to add just a little on the outside. Because if you remember, Cheez-Its have a little tiny salt sprinkled on them. So just a little to make them even more authentic. Let's put this into the oven. 350 degrees. They're going to take anywhere between 15 and 22 minutes, and I'm going to check them at the 10-minute mark. All right, friends, we are 10 minutes in. Let me show you these. Look at them. Look at how they are puffing up. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull them out for a second because I want to check and make sure they're staying separated. You know, because you can re-roll over these with your little thing and make sure that they're staying separated. They're all separated. Back in the oven. Probably for about 5 to 7 minutes. I'm just going to watch them really closely. I'll let you know when they're done. We are 17 minutes in, and I think we are definitely done. Let's take them out. I'm going to let them cool, and then we are going to taste these. And stay tuned, because I want to talk to you about them. They're still cooling off a little bit, but I'm going to put a couple of them on a plate so they can cool off a little faster. Oh, a couple more minutes and we'll give them a try. All right, everybody, we're going to try these Cheez-Its. Would you look at that? Does that not look like a perfect Cheez-It? It's puffy. Everybody, that's what I've been craving. And you know what? I'm kind of glad that when I looked at the box of Cheez-Its yesterday that it said bioengineered on it and I didn't buy it, because I have been committed to doing all my baking, and I think me picking up a box of them was just being lazy. You saw how easy this comes together. I mean, and they are delicious. So controlled on the ingredients. I really, really hope you'll give it a try, and I love when you guys tell me you've tried my recipes because I really have tested them and used them. I'm not going to steer you wrong, okay? Follow my instructions and you should come out really, really good. Now, creators, if you're having a hard time coming up with an idea for a video, test do one of the recipes that I've made or some of the other creators have made, all right? You can find those videos in the playlist, the Flour It Up playlist. I will leave that in the description and the pinned comment. And I think we have 4 of you that have been participating so far in this, and I want to tell you how grateful I am and how much I appreciate it, because my true goal here is to get people comfortable with making things from scratch. We live in a throwaway society. Convenience is king, right? Nobody knows the idea of delayed gratification anymore. It's that instant now, now, now. Well, those things are starting to go away from us. And I want people to have good food. I want people to enjoy what they're eating. And I really hope more of you will jump on board and do a Flour It Up video, okay? We love you all. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll be talking to you really soon. God bless you.